Hey everyone, this is Dwayne Johnson saying welcome to the Graham Norton Show.
We've got a great show for you tonight. I know I always say it's a packed sofa, but tonight it really is. It's an embarrassment of riches. Later we'll have a visit from 3 stars of the new Jumanji film, Welcome to the Jungle. They are Jack Black, Kevin Hart and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Yes, they will be here. And we'll have music from Noel Gallagher's High Flying Birds. Yeah. So, whip crack away, not a moment to waste. Let's get my first guest on. She's the Aussie star Bridesmaids and How to Be Single, now reprising her role as Fat Amy in Pitch Perfect 3. It's Rebel Wilson, everybody! Yay! They love you, they love you. Hi. Get down. She's made us laugh for 30 years as one half of Fred Saunders and the whole of the Vicar of Dibley. It's always a pleasure to welcome Dawn French, everybody! So pretty. Hello, darling. Dawn, Rebel. We can move up a bit. Yeah, move up like that. And she's the Oscar-nominated star of The Help, Zero Dark 30 and The Martian. Now she brings us the incredible true story, Molly's Game. It's the fabulous Jessica Chastain! Ladies.
Yeah.
Hi. I feel like I'm hosting Blind Date.
Are you going to match us with the other 3 that come on next?
Yes, we'll do that.
Okay.
Yes.
I'd be up for that. I'd be up for that.
This is a good celebrity format. You wouldn't be up for that because you just got married.
I did.
Yes.
Yeah.
It looks like you married your finger. Yeah, I got married. That's very blingy. I think we've got a picture of you with your husband. There he is.
Yes.
Is it
Gianluca.
Gianluca.
Ciao. Come stai, Gianluca?
Now, are you hanging with Italians now?
I am, and it's actually, it's hysterical, because the more time I hang out with someone, I start to take on their characteristics without really trying. And, see, I just did it. Trying. So I've had people come up to me and go, do you have an accent? And I'm starting to sound like an Italian, which is not necessarily a bad thing, except sometimes when you talk, you end up with a little at the end of every sentence.
Because, Dawn, you don't really have an accent.
I don't have an accent. I mean, I'm from the West Country, so there are, you know, people down there that have an accent. My family has a Cornish accent.
Yeah.
But I have actually just done a series called Delicious where I had to play an Italian chef, and my dad in it was played by Franco Nero. Do you know him? Wonderful actor. He was in the Guns of Navarone years ago. And anyway, he plays my dad, and he's Italian. And he told me that you can say anything so long as you do this.
Yes.
Do that, you're Italian. Yeah, that helps.
Because Rebel Wilson, working actress, you...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you've been working on a...
Still.
Are you Italian at all in any way?
No, I got my DNA tested and they said I'm 100% white. I was hoping for something. No.
But you are working on an accent, though.
Oh, yeah, I was just doing a South African accent for a movie. So, OK, I'll do a little bit. How's it? It's a pleasure to meet a fellow wildlife enthusiast. I love the Springboks myself.
Very good. That was good. Yes.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Please, everybody, you can come to my house and share in my ice cream. It's a good accent.
It is a good accent. Now, also, talking of congratulations for getting married, congratulations on your big court case win, Erin Brockovich, right there.
Thanks.
Yes. I know. I mean, it must be quite nervous-making, because once you've won, then it's like, yay!
Woo.
But there must, you know...
Yeah. I mean, it's scary. I've never committed a crime or anything, so I've never been in court. And it's a really weird experience. And you've got to testify, and you've got to be, like, really serious in front of the judge. But sometimes, like, the judge would make jokes, and sometimes he would quote Shakespeare, which was really interesting. Yeah, and I was like, I think I'm going to win. Yeah, it was actually the highest damages payout ever in Australian history.
And this is where you took a magazine to court?
Yes, yeah, that was owned by German billionaires, so don't feel sorry for them.
What did they do?
Yeah, exactly.
They defamed me.
Oh, I wish I'd been defamed.
Yeah,
No one wants to defame me.
yeah, you can make millions. I'm giving it all away to charity, though, but I won close to $5 million.
Oh. Well done, that lady. Now, lots of stuff on tonight, but the first film stars Jessica Chastain in Molly's Game. Now, it opens on the 1st of January, and it's not only written by the great Aaron Sorkin, but it's also his first time directing. And it's a true story. So, Molly Bloom, describe who is Molly Bloom and why are we interested in her story?
So Molly Bloom was ranked 3rd in women's moguls. She was on her way to the Olympics, on her way to law school, and she had an accident. So she ended up in Los Angeles and started running the most exclusive high-stakes poker game in the world. Unbeknownst to her, she lets in members of the Russian mafia, and she gets indicted by the FBI. So it sounds like a Hollywood fake story, but it's a true story.
Yeah, and she came to prominence because she wrote a book, but she was very careful in her book because there were a lot of high-profile people in these card games in Los Angeles, Hollywood types.
Yeah.
She didn't name them, but presumably because of who you are, you have now met the people, or if people come up to you and said, "Oh, I'm in your film," you don't know this.
Yeah, so I've met some people who played in her game. I knew some of the guys. I mean, we're talking big celebrities, big, you know, athletes. And so I met some of the guys in New York. They took me to an actual poker game, which was really stressful because I watched this one guy who took me, I watched him lose like $500,000 in like a couple hours, which first of all, that's just crazy, you know, to lose that in a couple hours. But I really felt like I was the bringer of bad luck in that situation.
Yes. Rebel, are you a gambler?
My earliest memory, I was out at a farm and I'm holding a horse. And they said to me, "Oh, do you like that horse?" It was a racehorse. And I go, "Oh, yeah." And then they go, "Oh, good, because it's your horse." And I remember, like, just not knowing what they meant. And they put it under my name for tax evasion reasons. My dad and Nana had racehorses, so I was at the track a lot. And I kind of was very good at maths, and I became very good at a young age at betting on the horses. The GGs, as my Nana would call them. And when I was 6, I won a box trifecta at the races and won like $1,600. And my dad took all the money and just gave me $5. And my uncle's like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "She'll never remember." So I remember. I lost like $1,595.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it in Australia? Are they called the trots?
Yeah.
The horse racing.
Yeah, the trots.
So you bet on the trots?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a different thing here. Is it? Yeah, I wouldn't be betting on it.
Oh.
You certainly don't want to win at the trots.
No, you don't want to win.
No idea what's
It's an
going on
upset
here.
tummy, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. And why is it? Is it because you trot to the loo? Is that why it's called?
I guess so. You're
Or is it the
trotting very,
noise?
very fast.
Okay.
Oh,
I don't know. Anywho, listen, we've got a clip. This is a scene with Idris Elba, who plays your lawyer, and he's sort of urging
Idris.
you to... Idris.
Did he say anything about me?
Every single day.
Did he say anything about me?
Every single day.
He's still in there.
We can have an Idris sandwich.
All right. The rest of us will be looking at you in this scene. It's Idris Elba. He plays the lawyer, and he's urging you to take the deal that's been offered.
You didn't do anything wrong.
I threw 4 people under the bus for $35,000, Charlie. I noticed you kept that out of your speech to the prosecutor.
No, don't do that
I took
to me.
advantage of gambling addicts. Donnie Silverman, my brilliant find. He lost
Molly,
$6 million
stop.
on my table.
Stop.
Moved to Florida, got a job as a substitute teacher, then hanged himself
and
in
that's
his shower.
your fault. That's
Donnie
not your
Silverman's
fault.
dead. Harlan Eustace is in jail in Nevada, wishing he was, but that's not why I'm saying no.
You're not saying no.
I was named after my great-grandmother.
I don't care.
Molly.
We will
Dublin
stay here
Bloom
all night
is my
until you
name.
understand. Until you understand nobody gives a shit about your good name.
I do.
Why?
Because...
Why?
Because...
Tell me why.
Because it's all I have left. Because it's my name.
Okay, well now, you may be aware that Christmas is coming, and Dawn French brings us an ideal gift.
Yes.
And so easy to wrap.
So easy to wrap.
It's Dawn French, Me, You, a Diary. And this is a clever idea. It's sort of your diary, your life, your thoughts,
Yep.
but equally it works as the purchaser's diary.
That's exactly right. I've written it. I've written 12 pieces about the months and 4 pieces about the seasons, which are kind of metaphors for ages in our life. But I've also written kind of lists in there, and I've written little tasks for people to do. There's a page there where I invite you to write that letter that you've been meaning to write, that you know you need to. And if you don't know how to start it, I've given you some clues, like it might start with I'm sorry about, or how did we ever get to, or perhaps you could return my lawnmower. And then you can rip that page out, and if you look at the very back, there's a rather lovely flap.
Do you know, I loved your flap.
Oh, I love a flap in the back. Yes. Oh, we all need a back flap. You know we do. But you put the letter in there, and then, you know, by the time you get to December, you can just read that letter again and decide if you want to post it or if just having written it is enough. And so it's an interactive book.
Yeah.
And so you can use that book to write your dental appointments in. You can write it as a journal, and I hope by the end of the year that's a kind of fatter, scruffier scrapbook of a book that becomes your treasure about you.
And it's because you're not claiming, you know, I know everything, but you are saying, I've been around, here's some stuff I know.
Yeah, well, you know, I turned 60 this year, and that's one of the reasons I was...
That's terrific.
You missed your cue. Well, because I did, I wanted to write, you know, I've written novels, as you know, and I thought, well, no, I want to write a book that's kind of a present. I want to write a book that's celebratory and enjoyable to take part in.
Now, here's what, advice to be ignored, right?
Yes.
So these are things, you know, things people tell you that you should do, that ignore this advice.
Yes, ignore it.
So, do you remember any of these?
I remember some things. I think I
like,
remember
don't go out with wet hair. You can ignore that.
That's absolutely things that your parents
That's
have
nonsense.
told you. Yeah.
Don't swim within 8 hours of eating.
Yes.
That's nonsense. Don't keep your coat on indoors or you won't feel the benefit.
Yes.
Nonsense. This one, though, don't lick a cat's bottom. That is good advice, I would have thought.
That is good advice, and I advise you to follow it.
I wish someone had told me that. I thought it was lucky.
And it's an old wives' tale that if you get a new cat... and if you spread butter on its bum...
Oh, my gosh.
And you let the cat lick the butter off, and in that time the cat gets used to the house where it is. But obviously, when we first...
so it won't move away because it's so enjoying its own
Exactly.
bum. Oh, yeah.
And I'd heard this, and when we got our first kitten many, many years ago, I remember saying to Len, my then husband, my first husband, as I like to refer to him, I said to him, you know that old thing about the cat and the licking the butter off the bum? And his face was so... He was so shocked. I went, yeah, you have to lick it. As the owner, you have to lick the cat's bottom. Are you OK with that? And literally, he nearly did. Nearly did. I mean, just, you know, when you think, oh, OK, this is something I don't understand, but I better do it. But anyway, he didn't do it. I didn't allow that.
But now, as you say, 60 years old, and you had got a lot of attention. You got this portrait. Did you get this done for your birthday?
Well, the thing was, my friend Trevor Layton, who's been, you know, my friend for a lot of years and a wonderful photographer, we were doing some other stuff for a magazine cover, and he was staying at my house, and we did that at my house in the morning. So, you know, he was there.
Just got out of bed.
Well, you know, it's horrible having your picture taken, isn't it? But he is my friend, and he's talking to me all the time, and he's funny, and so it was very easy to do. And he said, let's do a picture to celebrate being 60.
And it's a fabulous picture. You look brilliant in it.
Yeah,
and he actually took a picture of you back in, I think, is this from 1981, this picture? This one.
Yeah, God, that was the first house I shared with Jennifer, actually, and that's Spider, our cat.
Now, I don't want to be rude, but did you know a photographer was coming round? Because they appear to be old tights about a week's worth of newspapers hanging
Yeah, I
around.
thought that they just crop it, don't they? The bad mullet hairdo, it's appalling.
Hey, John, who licked that cat's butt? You or Jennifer?
Well, all I'm saying is look how attached that cat is to me. Yeah,
That cat is going, I'm ready.
I know who my bottom licker is.
Assume the position. Now, if you want to see Dawn French, do not worry. She will be on television over the festive period. 300 Years of French and Saunders, which is on BBC One, Christmas Day at 10:35. Wow, good slot. And of course, I should mention your comedy drama Delicious returns for the second series on Sky One from Friday the 29th at 9. And this is it's the big hit for Sky. This show.
It was their biggest drama last year, thank goodness. And I love making this show. We make it in Cornwall. That's Amelia Fox there.
Yes.
Who's my friend and enemy in this show. And there's a woman of, you know, my daughter is 20, Amelia's 40, I'm 60, Sheila Hancock is 80. And it's about these four women and how they rub along together, what they have to forgive each other, what they keep secret from each other, and how they work it out in the end.
Well, we have a clip. This is you and Amelia having an altercation, not working it out.
OK.
I'm taking the night off. And Rosie's all yours.
Very good. Now, Rebel Wilson brings us the third instalment in such a big film franchise, Pitch Perfect 3.
Number 3.
It's out on the 20th of December, and it's funny how you can talk to some people and they don't get it, like they don't understand how successful this franchise is.
Pitch Perfect 2 is the highest grossing musical comedy of all time.
Wow.
Yeah. School of Rock is number 2, Jack Black. We can't believe how successful it's become. And it's so cool because we're all friends in the cast, and so we want to work together again. Like, it would be suck if they were all bitches. I'd be like, oh, another movie. I was the first person ever cast in Pitch Perfect. I was cast 4 months before anybody else. And I did have to sing in the audition. And I was, like, a little nervous, but then I just thought, just crush it.
What did you sing for your audition?
I sang Lady Gaga, Edge of Glory, but I did my own body percussion to accompany it.
How do you do that?
Should I try to...
Yes.
So I haven't done this in, like, 7 years. OK, so...
Do we need goggles?
Are you going to be the casting director?
Yeah.
So, OK, I'm Rebel, I'm 5'4", still single. And here's my song. OK. I'm on the edge of glory, and I'm hanging on a moment of truth. I'm on the edge of glory, and I'm hanging on a moment with you. I'm on the edge, the edge, the edge, the edge, the edge, the edge. I'm on the edge of glory. It was something like that.
So the Bellas are back. You're all a bit older. So what's because you're not in college or anything anymore.
No,
so what's going on?
all the Bellas are kind of having a quarter-life crisis, which is a thing now with the young people. And they're all out of college and they're kind of trying to get jobs or earn money. And then they realise they miss being in an a cappella group and get back together.
Of course they do.
Yeah.
Thank God they do.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise it would just be a boring movie. You have to get the group back together.
But in this movie, though, you're back as Fat Amy, but we see a different side to Fat Amy. She's action-packed in this film.
Yeah, not only is there singing, dancing, but I do a lot of hardcore stunts in the movie. And people wouldn't think that I could fight because I look a bit more lazier. But I can really get into it and throw down if I need to. And I love that this movie, they gave me the opportunity to show some of my skills. I mean, I've shown some of my numchucks on this show.
You did the numchucks on here. It was excellent.
One of my hidden talents. And, yeah, I got to kick, punch...
And as we've got a very exciting... This is Fat Amy very much in action.
OK.
Here we go.
You'll see my skills.
Yeah.
OK, I'm my former jelly wrestling coach / babysitter. Do you remember me?
How could I forget the girl who gave me this?
You really shouldn't have put me in a timeout.
Let's dance.
Nunchucks right there.
Right, it's time to meet our next guests. They are the 3 stars of the new Jumanji movie. Welcome to the jungle. Please welcome Jack Black, Kevin Hart, and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson!
Enough of it. Anybody else?
Sit. Hello, boys. How are you?
Man.
Yeah.
Good.
You just got from your premiere of Jumanji.
Yes.
How did it go?
Amazing.
Fantastic.
Amazing. People went crazy when they saw
me, guys.
For me and Jack, they lost it. It was fine. Like, they walked out, and there was a different energy, and then I came, and everybody passed out. People were falling. It was so unbelievable.
They were falling asleep.
Amazing.
It was just...
That's why I got so quiet. Everyone was passed out.
That's why. And now, I have to say, talking of crowds cheering, the rumors are Dwayne Johnson, President 2020. That's what we hear.
Too loud.
Yes, it's
just a rumor. Don't clap too loud.
Here's the problem, right? And which has been it's been very flattering, right? That there's been this really interesting uptick in public opinion wanting that to happen. But the problem is this guy to my right will completely sabotage the campaign.
100%.
24.
100%.
Yes, so that's the problem.
I'm the guy that will
literally
take you
sabotage
down.
From the inside.
Yes. I would take you down. I don't want it to happen just because it would make you that much better than me, and I just don't want that at the same time.
I'd take you over what we got right now, I'll tell you that.
No, because Jessica, you'd be a cheerleader for Dwayne, wouldn't you? Yes.
Absolutely. Have you seen his Instagram?
Yes, I have.
Yes, he's so nice, and he's always showing gratitude.
Thank you.
Really, like it's
Graham,
nice.
I'd be prepared to donate to the campaign.
Thank you so much.
You got that, yeah.
Thank you. Cheers.
That is lovely. That is lovely. Now, Jumanji, welcome to the jungle. It opens on the 20th of December, and we must be clear, this isn't a remake, it isn't a sequel, this is a kind of standalone movie about the game.
Yes, it is. We wanted to, well, first of all, we wanted to make sure that we were paying homage to the spirit of Jumanji, which was such a big part of all of our lives growing up. And we also wanted to make sure that we were respectfully paying tribute to the man who started the entire, as Jack likes to articulate it, the Jumanji magic, Mr. Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Yes. You know, so the key with the movie was just trying to figure out whatever a creative, fresh take on it would be. And I think once we cracked the device of we are teenagers who gets thrust into the game, into these avatar bodies that have superpowers, like myself and you know, Jack has. It was just, that's when we knew we got something special.
It was, you know what, he can't say it better. I mean, look, we wanted to do a continuation.
Actually, I did, so you don't
well,
have to
you didn't say it good. I'm going to fix it. I'm going to say it a lot better than what he just did. You know, what we wanted to do, I think in the last Jumanji, it's an action, it's adventure, it's comedy, it's everything. And Jack Black really does steal this film. He's going to be modest while we're here, but he's amazing. He plays a 16-year-old girl, and he does it perfectly.
Really brilliant. Yes. Okay, I've never put Jack on the spot, but I have to do it now since, you know, I love this show, love coming back. The girls are here, they're going to appreciate it. The audience is going to appreciate it.
Oh, do it. I know what you're going to do.
So he...
Do it.
Jack does this incredible scene where he shows Karen Gillan, who's a wonderful actress.
Yeah, our own Karen Gillan.
Your own Karen Gillan, how to flirt.
Yeah.
As a 16-year-old girl.
Turn into her, Jack.
Wait, I have to do acting right now?
Turn into her.
You guys just say I stole the movie, and now I have to show you how I did it?
Self-action.
Come on, self-action.
This is not going to go well. This is not my kind of environment to release the Kraken. I think the main thing is just being relaxed and just sort of being yourself. I'm sorry, that's all you're getting. That's all you're getting.
Before we talk some more, let's have a clip. This actually kind of explains, we see kind of the four avatars, well, the four characters getting into the avatars and learning the ropes of the game.
Ow!
This was shot in Hawaii, all the jungles in Hawaii, which you loved. Were you born in Hawaii?
I wasn't born in Hawaii. I was
lived
born
there.
in San Francisco, but I did a lot of my growing up there.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I thought you were
it was
born
amazing.
there.
I don't know. I don't think. No.
You told me.
I didn't. No, I told you.
I swore you said.
I've known you for years. I've always said I was.
But when
born
we
in
were
San-
there, you gave me a big speech like, "This is my land." I started. I swore he told me.
I'll share that with that.
Well, now all of a sudden, San Fran. That was San Fran. Then I transferred. When we were there, you gave me a very spiritual speech about how it all started. How your mother held you over this cliff. Big speech. This is the cliff where I was born, and my mother gave me.
This is the problem. Yes. Try to be respectful. Hawaii was beautiful. Beautiful, you know, mountainside and lushness, and we shot in this beautiful place called Kualoa Ranch, where Jurassic Park, the original Jurassic Park, was shot, and the ones after that as well, and it was just amazing.
But you didn't like it, Kevin.
He hated it. No, this is the problem.
I didn't like it at all. I mean, outside of the spiritual grounds that you took me to, and I swore you even sung a song. You were like, I remember. I specific. We'll talk about it later.
Well, how the song go?
The song. You were like, Kula Matana.
Yeah, that sounds like an original.
I didn't like the jungle. I mean, look, I was very happy at the opportunity, you know, to get to work with Jack and Dwayne, you know, was amazing. But I'm not an outdoors guy, so insects, bugs are an enemy to me. And there was we had a fair share of spiders and centipedes, and he took full advantage of it. But he plays too much. And there's a level of cruel. I don't know if you guys endorse bullying, but I don't. I think it's hurtful. and Dwayne does. You know, so you
really do.
They did a lot of neat things. A lot of neat things with spiders and
Jessica,
stuff to me.
it's okay.
No, but Jessica, you just came back for safari, didn't you?
Yes, I spent 2 weeks in South Africa.
Wow.
Was it?
It was scary because the spiders were as big as my hand.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was my honeymoon, so I went thinking it was going to be so romantic and we'll be at nature. And then we got to this tent on the ground, and I went to open my bag, and there was...
Finish.
No. There was a spider the size of a Cadillac, just like... And I went to bed that night, because also it was June, so it was winter.
You went to bed?
I was wearing a hat and a face mask, and like, my entire body was
That's how
covered.
white people die. Right there. Right there. You went to bed?
I
No.
know.
No, you gotta stay up. You gotta stay up until you see that spider leave. Oh my God.
Now, Rock, your character's name is Dr. Smolder Bravestone.
Yes.
And so all the characters have strengths.
Yes.
So one of your strengths is the smolder.
An actual smolder, yes.
Yes.
It just takes over, and I have no control of it.
And did you know you could smolder? Like, did you kind of think, yeah, when you read it, did you go, oh, yeah, I'll do my smolder?
You know? I take you...
Is that it?
No, it didn't come yet.
Oh, okay.
That literally is where it came from. What you're saying, and this is why he looked at me, because it's so frustrating. Just go ahead, tell a story about your stupid smolder.
It's one of those things that, you know, as we're developing the script and thinking, well, what could be a fun thing? Well, what if a fun thing? One of the fun things was he has this ability to smolder, and it just takes over him. He has no control of it, and it's just one of those things, Graham, that God delivered. I signed for it, and I just do it, and everyone likes it, and everyone loves it except one individual. Everyone loves it.
I'm gonna tell you what it is, okay? Now we are very close. We're very close as friends, and you know, in this position, he's a producer on the film. So sometimes I just bit my tongue. So this idea came up from a producer like mentality. Like, oh, you know what would be great for this character?
Well,
if he smoldered. And I was like, what?
You don't have to.
And he's like, you know, if he did a thing. And I was like, what's that got to do with that being like in the game?
You don't have to say it like that.
He was like, it's a thing.
Right.
And he's like, and then he brought it back. He was like, my mom used to do it to me when I was over the mountains. And that's why we listened to him, because he brought it back. Everything got tied back to Hawaii. That's how he did it, Graham.
Well, the proof is, can we see a smolder? Can we see?
I'd be happy to. Great, sit back for a second. Okay, here we go. Can we have a little music? Maybe something that's a little ominous? Okay, here we go.
Wow.
Yes. Okay, here we go.
You can
ladies.
do it to me if you
I can
want.
do. Yes. You're ready. Here we go.
Beautiful.
Very good. Thank you so much.
That's sustained smoldering.
It's very impressive.
Yes. But Kevin.
Yeah, and now, Kevin is pregnant.
Now we're having a baby.
I got Rebel
From
just
there,
tagging
from that distance.
Yes.
Rebels Pebble. See, it's a little rock.
That's good.
Yeah,
No,
it's a
that's
little
good.
rock.
That's why you are who you are, Graham. That's why. Right there. That's some of the genius right there. That's why you are who you are. Yes.
Oh, dear. Because Jack, like, in the movie, this is something I've heard about you, that for every movie you do, you write and perform a theme song.
Well,
and yet, I've seen Jumanji, and there didn't appear to be any of you.
The movie hasn't been officially released yet, so it's not. Oh, is my time doing something funny?
I got you.
Thank you.
You're my friend.
No, I told you to
You're
fix
my
this tie.
friend.
I told you.
Thank you guys
Stop
for fixing my
touching
tie. I'm getting to talk for the first time.
I Has this been a very long press tour?
I love these guys. I wrote a song. We were all kind of messing around with a theme song. And me and Nick Jonas actually put the finishing touches on it. And we shot a music video, hoping to release it soon. But do you want a little taste of it?
Oh, you please, yes.
This might be the only time you hear it. I don't know if it's going to make the final cut. But it's pretty powerful. It goes, Jumanji, it's a jungle inside your soul. Somewhere deep inside at the end of the world.
Wow! Beautiful.
And survival your only goal. Plunge the jewel inside. Say the name of the game.
There we go.
Yeah.
Jumanji, Jumanji, Jumanji. Thank you.
Wow! Thank you. Oh. Level upon level. Beautiful work. Beautiful work. Not saying that wasn't, but it's time for music. This man is the genius behind Britpop legends Oasis. Now he's back with a 10th #1 album to his name, performing Holy Mountain. It's Noel Gallagher's High Flying Birds! Seriously, that did sound really amazing. Really, really good. You have a seat down at the end. That's Noel Gallagher. Just wave. It's too many people. Wave. Wave it in. There we go. There we go. Congratulations. That sounded fantastic.
Thank you.
It was like boom.
You guys like it?
Yes.
I was just saying to Kevin.
Yeah, that's the one. I seen you getting down. I was like,
Yeah. And what's the Jack Black connection? Do you know each other, or?
Do we?
Do we have a history?
Do we? I don't know.
Well, it's nice to meet you.
Only my kids are huge fans of School of Rock. I don't think...
Oh, okay. Wasn't there something about working together?
No.
No.
That is it. Now it's embarrassing. It was his brother, Liam. There was a thing.
That's all we have time for tonight.
I'm afraid it's a daily occurrence.
I'm trying to shut that down with my eye contact to you.
I'm
but
so
you didn't pick
sorry.
up on it.
I'm really
I'm still...
No, because you were looking so blank, and I was thinking, that's so weird that he can't remember that... So that, I mean, I do find this fascinating, this between... So, that, like, do you... Like, you watch each other. So if he was on here, did you watch him on here?
No.
Oh, so... But he watches you?
Oh, he's obsessed. He'll be watching this now. Can you just say... Can we all say hello to him? Where is he? What camera's on there?
There you
Hi,
go.
Liam.
I'm still stuck on the kids part. So they only like School of Rock, or is it? There's nothing else?
You know, School of Rock is like the second highest grossing.
Well, they're like, I mean, they're fans of his, but he's off the scale with that.
I met your boys and your daughter backstage.
Cool.
Yeah. Because they came up to me and they were like, "Hey, we love you."
Yeah.
I know, usually when I come onto this show, I'm like, "Do you want to come?" I'm like, "No, not really." I'm like, "The Rock's going to be there," and they were like, "Well, we're there."
Yeah.
I know that's right.
Just the Rock.
So did they know I was here or not?
They're watching now. They kind of mentioned it backstage. They're like, "Who's the other fella?"
Oh, hey, Chris Rock is there.
So listen, we must mention, that is from the album Who Built the Moon, which is out now. And it's pretty special. This is your 10th consecutive #1 album.
Wow.
Is that like, that must be some sort of record?
It's a record. I didn't know it was a record until the chart people called up for a quote for it, and we kind of had to do a count and go, wow, yeah, it's a record. But we celebrated, went #1 last Friday, and we celebrated hard, me and my wife, by getting a couple of bags of kettle chips and watching the Graham Norton show.
That's a night in. That's a proper night in.
Because we watch it every week, and She seems to be on every week. She's the hardest woman in showbiz.
OK, it's on Gogglebox, all right.
This is my favourite show. I will say that.
Bless you, bless you.
Yeah.
Nice.
See,
Yeah,
nice guest. Well, listen, good luck with it. Thank you so much. Noel Gallagher, everybody. Very good. Right, that is nearly it. Before we go, just time for a visit to the big red chair. Who's there? Hello.
Hey.
Hi. What's your name?
Linda.
Linda, lovely. And where are you from, Linda?
Originally from Glasgow, but I live in London.
Oh, right. And what do you do down in London?
I'm an antenatal teacher and a hypnobirthing practitioner.
A hypnobirthing practitioner.
We were just talking about that.
You were just talking about hypnobirthing. They were just talking about it. Wow. Yeah, well, you were in the car for a long time. Sorry, we've been distracted. Off you go with this story.
OK, this happened some time ago, about 20 years ago, when I was young and attractive.
Stop it.
Well, more young and attractive.
There you go.
And I have my older kids were going into secondary school, and it was a parents' evening, and we were meeting the head teacher, and it was all very posh. It was a very posh school, and I was standing there talking to the head teacher in front of the buffet. It was a beautiful buffet, and I'm standing there talking to him, and I looked down, and I saw that his jacket was about to fall into the dip. So I'm very helpful, so I thought I'll stop that. So I put my hand out to stop his jacket, and my hand slipped, and it went under his jacket, and then I found myself patting him on the testicles. I froze, so then I'm cupping him on the testicles. And then we both froze, and then I took my hand out, and we both walked away.
That's a great story. You can walk. Hey! One more. Here we go. OK. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hi, what's your name?
Martin.
OK, off you go with this story.
Right, I was on a car journey with my wife and my two granddaughters who were in the back seat there. I suppose they were about 3.5 at the time.
Interesting.
And a car came along and cut me up, and I ran my brakes on, and I was just about to come out with some real choice words, as one does. And fortunately, I remembered I had my granddaughters in the back. So I said, "You silly Billy, aren't you a silly Billy? Don't you agree, girls, he's a silly Billy?" And one of them just looked up and said, "I think he's a fucking idiot."
Well done, everyone. If you'd like to join us on the show and have a go in the red chair, you can contact us via our website at this very address. And listen, that is it for tonight. Please say a huge thank you to all of my guests. Mr. Noel Gallagher! Rebel Wilson! Dawn French! Jessica Chastain! Jack Black! Kevin Hart! And Dwayne Johnson! Do join me next week with the singer Sam Smith and a Star Wars spectacular. We've got Gwendolyn Christie, John Boyega, Daisy Ridley, and Luke Skywalker himself, Mark Hamill. I'll see you then. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye!
Lord Sugar has whittled down the candidates, and now there are only 5 remaining. We get to meet Michaela, Elizabeth, Joanna, James and Sarah Lynn a little bit better in a moment.